Hey y'all, welcome to my barbecue. Today we're making an American style barbecue. Not gonna lie, I've been watching a particular show on Netflix that's inspired me to make a Smokey number and a cornbread. So we're doing a smoked chicken. I've got my barbecue lit and smoking, and we'll get there in a sec. But what I've got here is a beautiful 1.8 kilo chicken that I've spatchcocked. The reason I spatchcock it is I want it to smoke faster. I want it to go hard and fast. So this chicken I have brined, right? It's the same brine from the fried chicken video. It's 100 grams salt, 100 grams sugar, 500 grams of water, 500 grams of ice, bring it to the boil, tip the ice in, put your chicken in. This went in at 6 p.m. last night and came out at 8 a.m. this morning. So you do the maths, innit? Not gonna do fucking marinate or anything like that. I want this chicken to just catch as much smoke as possible. So we're just gonna go olive oil. This is just gonna help crisp skin and also act as an adhesive just to get our salt and pepper on. I don't wanna do fucking fire roast this or paprika or anything like that. By all means do a dry rub, but I bought a really good chicken and I just want salt and pepper, yeah? English barbecue. Y'all Brits don't know how to barbecue. Y'all just put salt and pepper on everything. But yeah, so we're doing salt and pepper, yeah? Look, salt and pepper. You've all got this at home. You can all buy a chicken. You can all make a brine. Also, I know we're smoking it, but you can do this in the oven. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Flip it over. I'm not worried about oil here. I'm just going to do salt and pepper again. Classic. The Americans often talk about bark, right? So it's the exterior crust. The salt, the pepper, and the smoke are all going to come together and create our bark. We're going to have like a beautiful suntan bird, little pops of pepper, and seasoned skin, right? Now, before we put the bird in the oven, let's go over to the smoker. I call it the oven because that's how we're cooking. And I'm just going to show you the setup, right? If you've got a barbecue at home with a lid, you can do this easy. You need wood chips or wood. If you don't have a barbecue with a lid, just by all means, just barbecue this. You'll still get a smoky flavour, but we're looking for deep impact when we're talking about smoke and American style barbecue. So let's go look at the setup. Look, so I've got a drum barbecue, yeah? So drum barbecues, you need to think of them as like tornadoes, right? So you light a fire and it allows the heat to travel in a circular motion before coming out the chimney. So in here, the first bit will always make you wince. I've made a little barbecue, yeah? I've lit a little fire. I've added 2 logs to it. I've got my vents completely open because I want airflow. Don't be scared, right? Don't use the wood from the petrol station. You need to go and fucking source some actual cooking wood. Lord Logs. I went to my mate Elliot Cunningham, hello Elliot, who's given us some silver birch. And basically what we're doing, right, is we're looking to be at roasting temperature, but outdoors over fire. So roasting temperature is anywhere between 2 and 250. That's where we know we've got enough heat to create a crispy skin and still cook the bird, but what's happening is the wood is allowed to smoke and smoulder, and that's where the smoky flavour's coming from. You're basically making a fucking oven using live fire. That's all you're doing, yeah? So you can't see it because my temperature gauge is condensationed. We're sat at like a 220, 250 mark. In there it does say barbecue roasting, but you can't see that because I left my barbecue outside in the rain without a cover on. No. I'm gonna go get the chicken and we're gonna load up. Chicken, salt and pepper, brined. Now, don't go over your charcoal. We're gonna do it offset. So we're just gonna go here. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go this way because my thighs and legs take longer to cook. So I'm gonna go offset, leave the fire there, and then we're just gonna close the lid. Like that. Closed. Check it, make sure it's in the 200 to 250 range. And if it isn't, feed it some wood chips, knock your fire about. It's all about maintaining heat inside here. I'm gonna shut my vent off ever so slightly to about halfway. That means that our fire's not burning as fast, and the heat that we've got in here will remain at that temperature, but we have to be vigilant and keep our eye on it. We can't just put it in there and consider it a magic box that's gonna fucking cook our chicken. So we have to look after it. I reckon 45 minutes, even if you did spatchcock a bird and cook it over open fire, it'd take about the same time. We just need to be trapping heat entirely instead of putting direct heat on skin and flesh. I hope that makes sense. Smoked chicken. Anything with a lid, you can do it. Searching to find. What's it? Chicken's in. All we're gonna do now, right? So, as I said, I've been watching this barbecue show, and fucking Americans love cornbread. And we don't often eat cornbread here. You can't find it in a lot of places. I know there's a few restaurants that make it, but I Googled and I looked and I was like, how easy is this to make? And quite frankly, it's a fucking piece of piss. So I've got all of my ingredients that I need on this tray. Four tablespoons of cornmeal, fine cornmeal. 2.5 tablespoons of flour. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 2 jalapenos. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 160 milligram of milk, the juice of 1 lime, 2 eggs, 130 grams of cheese, and some fresh sweet corn. Now, I'm gonna start off by doing the chopping bits. So, the jalapenos, got 2. I'm gonna go 3. When I did it, I had 2 in it, and I didn't really get the fire, but I also did take the seeds out, and maybe this time, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna take the seeds out just in case. So jalapenos, straight down the middle. Now jalapenos, they aren't exactly like fucking ferocious chilies. They do carry a flavor, they're quite fruity. And I just want a background of heat. Although, like this is why I haven't put anything in particular spice-wise on the chicken. It's because I want to put as much flavor as I can in the cornbread so that things are balanced and it's not like spicy cornbread. Spicy salsa rosa that we're putting on top after. Spicy jalapenos. Don't eat those seeds, bro. It's all about balance and understanding how flavors work, right? So, take these seeds out. So we're gonna cut this into like manageable strips. And then what you're gonna do, so I just like to stretch them out across the board, like that. And just chop away. But that's it, we're not looking for like fucking extra small. I like to bite into a little piece of jalapeno, right? So, jalapenos can go into this bowl that we're gonna make our wet batter mix in. I've only got to cut this lime, so I'm just gonna cut this lime in half for later. So, in here, 4 tablespoons cornmeal, 2.5 tablespoons of flour in, yeah? Cornmeal I bought in a supermarket. In the foreign section, in like the world food bits, there's a big bag of cornmeal, fine, buy that stuff. A tablespoon of sugar. We want the sweetness, fucking hell, that blew away. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Get it in, and that's gonna give us that puff, right? Then, I've got, oh fuck, I didn't cut my sweet corn, bear with me. You can use tinned sweet corn. If so, go about 3 tablespoons. I found this in my greengrocer and I was like, why not put fucking fresh sweet corn in? So I'm just gonna strip this sweet corn, strip it like a doner. Chili sauce salad, boss. The only thing I am gonna do is that if you are using fresh sweet corn like I am, when you do put it into a bowl, run it through your fingers just so that the sweet corn is individual, right? I don't want clumps of sweet corn, I want individuality. From there, 130 grams of sharp, like deli cheddar, yeah, or the finest, or the best that the supermarket has to offer, but you want sharp and sour and fucking, that's the way I can describe it, it's like barnyardy, right, yeah? If you want to use normal cheddar, use normal cheddar. If not, you can use a red Leicestershire, as Americans would say. You can use a red Leicester. Use whatever cheese you want, pecorino, parm. I'm going for sharp cheddar. And at this point, I'm just going to give it a little mix through, just a little distribution. So essentially, we've created the dry part of our cornbread. So like each bit's got a little bit of cheese, some jalapeno, some fresh corn. Now, before I forget, a nice crack of salt, yeah? Then, wet ingredients. Americans traditionally would use buttermilk, yeah? Not readily available here. If you find buttermilk, 160 gram of buttermilk, I'm using full fat Guernsey milk, yeah? Nice stuff. Get that fucking in, boy, fucking. So, and to turn this into a buttermilk, I'm just gonna add a little bit of lime juice. And that's gonna give us acidity that the buttermilk would, right? Little lime juice. And then to turn this thing basically into a batter, 2 beautiful eggs, like so. And then, little whisk job. I'm gonna turn this wet mix, batter consistency. I don't want to overwork it, I just want to bring it together. At this point, I'm going to add a little glug of olive oil and a tiny splash, a literal tiny splash of water, just to loosen, right? We don't want it to be so tight. There you go. It's like a droppy consistency. We don't want it to be stodgy or too tight or anything like that. So, traditionally, you'd pour this into a baking dish and you'd bake it. I've never done it like that. When I developed this recipe, I was like, it'd be quite cool if we cooked it like a muffin, yeah? So I went and bought a ramekin, right? Because I've got a fucking chicken that takes about 40 minutes. I don't want to be fucking around putting this in the oven as well as this and then that and pulling. So I've adopted this recipe to basically cater to cooking outside or cooking to an oven and a stovetop. So, little camp burner on. Now, no high heat, yeah? We're almost gonna put this in like lukewarm, because the idea is we do not want to fucking create a really crispy bottom before the batter cooks. A little bit of oil, just to lube our pan up, yeah? Now remember, in the batter, we've got cheese, eggs, and we've got milk. We've got things that are gonna caramelize over a high heat. So if we cook this too fast, we're gonna end up with a really dark bottom that we don't want. We want it to be soft, delicious, and delicate, almost like a pancake, right? Little mold I bought from a supermarket, cookie cutter, whatever. You can get them in dinosaur shapes. If you want to do a dinosaur cornbread, do a dinosaur cornbread. And we're just gonna get a little bit of oil on the inside of this, just to make sure that our batter doesn't stick, right? You see how it's dropping down? And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna drop in this batter. Just like that. And then I just wanna give it a couple bangs. You see how we're getting little bubbles come up? That means that any air pockets that are in our cornbread crumpet have now risen to the top, and we're just gonna fucking pray. We're gonna pray that this pan doesn't get too hot. But this is the kind, you see this casual blip, 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 blip. But that's where we wanna be at, this blip, 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 blip. Slight. Not loads, slight. Right, this part's tricky, because the top of our batter's still loose. Yes. Nice. And then you want to run your palette knife around. Taking it away from the edge. And we're just going to give it a little push down. Just so it has the opportunity to cook on both sides. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be fine. Fucking go on, son. unless you're making them this thin, like an actual pancake, you can't do these over a high heat. There's too many fatty elements in the batter that will caramelize, and this will go too deep and too dark, and it won't be nice to eat, right? So, low, slow, that's cooking off, basting, cooling, doing this thing. You just want to give this your full time and attention, and you'll feel that it starts to go from wet batter to like gentle stodge. And the gentle stodge is what we're looking for, right? Nice and low, using the whole circumference of the pan. I know that if I go right in the middle, it's too hot, so I can push it off to the edge. But we want to build nice color. We don't want dark spots. So look, when your cornbread is like cooked off both sides and starting to tighten, I'm just gonna, little tablespoon of nice butter, yeah, into the pan. We don't want it to be like and start to brown. We just want to melt this butter into the pan and allow it to slip under our little ramekin. But what this also gives us the opportunity to do is this. See that? See this dirty little butter seepage that's going to soak all the way through our cornbread and be fucking delicious, right? So I've just laid that butter across the top, and that's just going to seep in through any like nooks and crannies that we have, and just be allowed to pass by but introduce flavor. Like, hey, what up, butter? Do you know what I mean? Everyone loves butter. Glistening in the sun. Bombo cloud. Been about 20 minutes. My barbecue's crept up to 270. It's quite hot, but look at this. Look at the suntan on this bird. Jeez, up. Added another log, but here, look. We've got gentle bounce, firmness, tight. Beautiful skin. Now, at this point, I want to just have a look at the underneath. Ooh. Oh no, this bird's cooked, mate. This bird's cooked. Yeah. Okay, cool. So 30 minutes in total. This is why we've spatchcocked this bird, right? Is because we've given it surface area for the heat to go all the way around like this. When a bird's a bird like that, it's only got the opportunity to go around the bird and in its arsehole, yeah? Whereas this, we've got full surface area, every bit's licking smoke and whatever, and it's delicious. Look at the color on it, man. You dumb. Look, skin's starting to pull away from this bone. We've got a nice tenseness. Good little bounce. See, it's like gelatinous almost. We're going to pull this off. Pull this off and let it rest. Right, chicken's done and resting. Cornbread. Fucking hot, bruv. Pull away the sides. Are you ready? Voila. Homemade cornbread. Now, again, just because we want pure, indulgent luxuriousness, a little bit of butter, and then a squirt of honey. Oh my God, that was a lot of fucking honey. Nice little squirt of honey. We're just gonna let this. Big up America, man. This looks great, bruv. That's it, cornbread. Oh, smoked chicken, cornbread. America. I've got a little bit of feta that's going on top. I've made a salsa. She's gonna bang out some more cornbreads. Georgia's gonna get cute shots of what we've got, and then we're gonna come back and eat this motherfucker. Thank you, my friend. Chicken, smoked, rested, cornbread. Look at this. Look at this. Corn, jalapeno, sugar, honey, butter. Like fucking soft, pillowy, crumpety blanket. Yeah, yum. Look. So, should we do a little cheeky cross section? Let's do a cheeky cross section on one of these. Pillowy, bits of corn, jalapeno, cheesy. Look, man, fuck off, bruv. God save America. So, let's carve up this bird straight down the breast. Oh, oh, fuck your mum, bruv. Look, uniform, juicy, moist, almost like. You almost want to fucking care for it, bro. So let's split. Let's stick these to one side. I'm more worried about the breast. When you smoke and brine breast meat, it's something else. Can you just look at this? It's like fucking fish. Delicate, flaky. You ain't never seen chicken like this in your life. Never ever. And this was a beautiful bird. It was from Stella's in Stoke Newton. Organic beauty. Cornbread. Beautiful bits of smoked chicken. Nice little barbecue plate. I've got some salsa rosa. I made this yesterday. I'd give you the recipe for this, but it's in my book. And I feel like if you're watching this, you don't have my book, you're a fucking pagan, bruv. Go buy the fucking book. Amazon, Big House, Home. If you have got it, salsa rosa and lamb chop, the recipe is. I'm gonna put a little bit of this punchy, beautiful salsa rosa. I want some of the oil as well. The oil's like taking on all the flavour. Little coriander, because I fucking love coriander. Like that. A couple bits of jalapeno. And just because I feel like this is a mishmash between Mexican, American, me being English, Turkish, I feel like all of this is sweet, smoky, vibrant, that kind of stuff. I just want a little crumble of like cooling feta, color contrast, little crumble, nothing major, yeah? Looks like I murdered a fucking chicken here, man. American barbecue. It's butter, you won't like it. It's rotten. Oh man. Chef's kiss. Smoke, heat, refreshing coriander. It needs a wedge of lime. I haven't got one. I need a little for acid. Like sweet heat from salsa rosa. And then you get the odd jalapeno and it's like, hey, jalapeno. Cornbread is sucking up all of like the chicken resting juice, the oil from the salsa rosa. You're just sitting there like, perfectly happy to be there. Just like, yeah, man. The chicken in half an hour has taken on loads of smoke. It's salty from our brine. It's a beautiful texture. It doesn't need much chew. Do you know what I mean? It just fucking disintegrates beautifully in your mouth. Honestly, if you've never brined a chicken and then fucking barbecued it or even roasted it, the difference that it makes is fucking insane. Also, big up all the people that catch me when I'm out and they're like, Ash, you changed the way I cook. You changed the way I barbecue. I love you. I love you too. Everyone that stops and says hello, big up you, man. I respect it. Thanks for watching. This is another fucking banger top drawer. You should all make this. All of you, you should all make this. Yeah, get involved, son. Get involved, son.
Chop house films.
Can you say films?
Film.
Films.
Films.